I got it right here. Yo, what's up, everybody? Your boy Big Shot here, and I got the rest of the game. And Jonathan will join us later on. So I'm gonna get right into it. While the gang is here and I'm here, um, get right into the NFL draft. Uh, the big thing was Sheduer Sanders. Um, I don't know how y'all guys feel about it, but before I bring it around to the table, I'm going to tell you guys how I feel about the Sheduer Sanders fiasco. Um, it all started, where I think in the interview process. Um, to me, when I heard it and stuff, when they asked you questions and all that, he did sound kind of arrogant, kind of full of himself. I just wish he would have answered, a few things differently. But and his dad, yeah, I say it. Dion did have something to do with that. I know
For
everybody,
sure.
everybody want to bring color. Oh, because he's black. I say,
Right.
keep that
Right.
crap down, man, because half of the players that got first, there are some of them more black. So we can't just because he's black, he got done wrong. No, he didn't get done wrong. Shador did that to himself.
Yeah, he still
So
got drafted. I don't
yeah, he
understand.
so I just think a lot of people don't even watch sports, don't even watch football, don't even follow Sheduer Sanders. All of a sudden now they got something to say, and they always bring in the color and all this. Well, Archie Manning did this. I said, well, all Archie Manning did. We was alive when this happened. I said all Archie Manning did was say, my son is not going to San Diego. That was it. That was it.
Right.
I
Right.
don't think we have social media then. Do we have social media then? No, that's social
Nah, that's exactly. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, he didn't. That's all Arch Manning said. He said, "My son is not going to San Diego," and that was it. Dion, my kid is going. He's not going. I'm like, you can't say where he's gonna go. So I just think the arrogance and I think he do got character issues a little bit. And I was reading an article. A few GMs said that they was worried about uh, his character issues, off the field issues, um, and does he take the game seriously and stuff. But the another thing before I pass it on, to the next um, to Shallow and to do if my dad was one of the greatest cornerbacks in the game and has the smarts for the game, yeah, I would ask him everything, too. I would ask him, I would get his pointers on what he think and everything like that too as well, because you got to think about it. That's Deion Sanders. Well, wouldn't you want to pick his brain? But I just think Shador just needs to relax, calm down, get into Cleveland because you're not going to start. He's not going to start. I have to tell someone that today. I said Sheduer Sanders is not going to start. I
Who
said
you got,
puppy boy.
Flacco?
Yeah, Flacco's going to start. I guarantee you, he's going
Nah,
to
I think
start.
Flacco gonna start too.
Yeah, and I did say this. Kenny Prickett. I don't think he's going to be number two. I think it's going to come down to um, Dylan Gabriel. Because I just don't see Kenny Prickett being a reliable number two. But we're going to see when everything starts. So that's all I got to say about that. So now I'm going to give it to I'm going to let Ralph take it. Yeah, he's on out of it.
Man, first of all, let me just say this. Shout out to Cam Ward because he did go first. So
Yeah.
nobody's talking about him going first.
No,
And,
not at all.
and he's also a black quarterback. So let me just put that out there for people who don't know. He was the first overall pick by Tennessee, and he was a brother. And he played the same position as Sheduer, a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So then, when I read the reports that he was sabotaging interviews on purpose, showing up with an entourage, headphones, taking FaceTime calls, You know,
That's crazy. If that's true, that's crazy.
yeah, man. They said that when the GMs, the coaches was asking them questions, he was answering the question with a question back to them. Like he was interviewing them. He was answering their questions with a question back to them. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like he didn't want to be there. So first, let me just back up for a quick. What he first messed up at is, the NFL Combine is where all the coaches and all the GMs come for that 3-day or 4-day, however long. Everybody's there. A representative from every NFL team is there. So when you don't participate there, you pretty much just showing everybody, because everybody's there, what you're about.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go and participate at your pro day, everybody doesn't come to your pro day. The only people that comes to your pro day are the people that's interested in you, or the people that's interested in other positions that's at your pro day too. So just because you skip your combine and you go to your pro day, all 32 teams are not going to come to your pro day like they are at the combine. So if you want to impress everybody, the combine is the place to do that at, not just your pro day. Because people come to your pro day is only interested in you or somebody else that was on your team that's entering the draft that's, at the pro day too. So I think he should have went to the combine and, did his throws at the combine, and he didn't help himself by dodging certain interviews at the combine and fucking them up. You know what I'm saying? So I think his whole approach was wrong. Yeah. I think he got bad advice, and I was expecting Sheduer to know better, because every time you see Deion talking to his team out in Colorado, he always talking about how you need to be professional this and how you need to conduct yourself like this. You don't need to do that. So I'm very surprised that he went in there, if this true, and purposely sabotage interviews. You know what I'm saying? So I can't blame nobody but him for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you did that. They were looking for you to be the franchise. They want you to be the franchise guy. So they doing everything for you not to fuck it up, but you did that on your own. You know what I'm saying? They looking to give you that $40 million rookie contract. They looking for you to be a leader. They looking for you to be their quarterback. They want you. So it's hard to fuck that up when they already want you. You know what I'm saying? But now the fact that you giving them a reason to not want you, you can't come out here and be mad that you didn't get selected what you thought. I think that's where everybody mad at. Because he got drafted, like you said, Jay. He did get drafted. But people more upset because he didn't get drafted what they thought he should got drafted. And like you said, Sean, a lot of people that didn't even follow football now all of a sudden got something to say about it being
right. My cousins that's crazy. That's my cousins. I'm like, dude, y'all don't even follow football, but now all of a sudden the guy should get fired from, you know what I'm saying, because he pranked. I'm like, dude, this dude is a grown man. Yeah, the prank was messed up, but you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't know nothing about nothing, but now all of a sudden y'all calling for people jobs because Sheduer got pranked. You didn't know Sheduer's name before he got pranked.
It's not even race related. Because like I said,
that's what I'm saying. It's not. Because he's not the only one that got pranked.
I think the last 3 drafts have had black quarterbacks. It was Bryce Young, and then C.J. Stroud was second in that draft. And then last year you had Caleb Williams, and Jane Daniels was second in that draft. And now you got Cam Ward this year, and Travis Hunter was second in this draft, who's also a black player, who was also a Sheduer's teammate. And then a team traded up to get him. So I guarantee you Travis Hunter didn't sabotage no interviews. So ain't nobody saying that.
Right.
The only reason he got drafted in the position he did is because he did what he did. And I'm yet to see a report come out about Deion or Sheduer denying any of this. If none of this is true, why haven't they said it's not true?
That is true.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, they haven't.
They haven't said it's not true. And his whole thing was to get his son what he wanted to get him, because he said out of his own mouth on several different platforms that his son was not going to go in certain places. Certain cities just wasn't going to happen. And now he purposely sabotaged interviews and dodged interviews. That aligns with what Deion said. So now it makes it seem like they planned this out ahead of time.
Yeah.
And it backfired.
And and now you're in Cleveland.
And that backfired. And I guarantee you, Cleveland was one of the places he had on his list for his son not to go. And you ended up going there anyway for $40 million less. And then people asking, well, why did Cleveland get him in the 5th round if they was already going to get? Well, they got him for $40 million cheaper. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. And you know, one thing too that came up, I think Boomer Science said it or Chris Carter. One of these, I mean, one of them said it. A lot of teams was told to take Sheduer Sanders off their draft board. I heard it so many times. So maybe that happened too. You know, everybody said, "Well, we don't want to deal with that." You know, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't blame them. All right, Donovan, what you got to say about it?
Hey man, hey, if I got Sheduer in the 5th round and I was a Browns fan, I'd be sipping on that hand too, man. Nah, man, you guys got to steal, man, and just what Ralph said, man. I mean, he pretty much hit the nail on the head. I mean, he pretty much sabotaged it himself, and you would think. I don't know if he has an agent or not, but you would think that someone would advise him on how to conduct himself during the whole process. Yeah, I understand that his dad was somewhat the same way, but his dad was a dual sport athlete. So you got a lot more options on the table than as what his son is. And I thought he was a decent quarterback, but like in some of the big games, like he didn't really play that well. So, I mean, when he was on national stage, he didn't play that well. Just looking at it, just without all the narratives, like if you look at him, he didn't play that well. And so he didn't have that type of clout. Like, and then people are mentioning like Baker Mayfield and
Manziel. Ryan was on here.
Yeah, Manziel, but those two guys won Heisman. So
that's what I tried to tell Ryan. Like that, exactly.
Yeah, they won Heisman. So I mean, you could. I mean, the NFL, everybody knows. So they were, people are arguing. It's NFL controls their players. I mean, it just is what it is. It's not the NBA. You can't conduct yourself like that and still and expect like no consequences. And if you're really that good, regardless of all that, I think teams would have still picked them number 1. So just like Ralph said, Cam Ward was. I thought he was going to go before Sheduer, and he did, and some other quarterbacks went. But if there wasn't that big of a gap between Sheduer and some of these other quarterbacks, why would anybody want that headache? So. If I'm a Cleveland fan, I would be very, very excited right now that you got a lot of options at quarterback, and you guys can try out these quarterbacks and see what the best option is. And I mean, and then you can go with Sheduer. If you go with Sheduer, I mean, you can kind of do what the Niners did, with Brock Purdy and just stockpile all around. And if he pans out any good, then you can stockpile all these other players around him, and you can go on a good 2-3 year run like the Niners did with Brock Purdy. So, shout out to the Browns for actually picking him, and just let that be a lesson learned. Because I'm sure now he was probably getting more. He was probably getting paid more on an NIL deal than what he got paid, in the 5th round. So, let that be a lesson to people. Don't think you're bigger than what you actually are, especially if you're not even in the league yet. I mean, anything could happen. So, I mean, it would be a good lesson, for everybody that thinks that they're all that, to proceed with caution and seek advice to people that have kind of been there. And like I said, you would think that Dion or somebody would have stepped in and said something, but I think he was just on his high horse, and I think Dion I like Dion as a coach. I think he's a great motivator, but I think he kind of added more fuel to the fire, and as a result, he landed where he landed.
Yeah, your son's in Cleveland, and that's where a lot of players go to die. Careers go to die. But I was telling my friend, I talk sports at work all day, so he's a Seattle Seahawks fan, and I told him, I said, I do think Joe Flacco will be the starting quarterback, but I want to see what Sheduer Sanders going to do too. That's what I'm waiting to see. All that and all that talking and all that stuff. I want to see him prove it on the field. So we're gonna see. So my next question in the NFL draft: who won the NFL draft? What team won the NFL draft?
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Ralph, you could take that first.
Who what teams won the NFL draft?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I would say probably Baltimore would be a team because
Mhm.
they got Malachi Starks in the first, and then they came back in the second round and got a first round talent in Mike Green. I think Mike Green would have been first round, but you know the stories came out about his alleged sexual assault.
Okay. Yeah.
So he fell. And he was asked about that in an interview, and he admitted and spoke about it. So he didn't lie about it or hide it or nothing. They asked him about it, and he didn't say nothing about it until they asked about it. And then they asked him about it, and he, told them. So he was a first round talent that fell to the second round. But Baltimore was willing to say, the hell with that sexual allegations. You first round talent. Shit, you play a key position. So now they got a first round talent edge rush in the second round, and Mike Green. Added to that defense, and then you still had Hamilton on the back end, and you add Pat with Malachi Starks. The Baltimore Ravens defense, if they do what they supposed to do, they could easily be a top 3 defense in the NFL this year. If they do what they supposed to do, don't have no injuries or suspensions or nothing like that, they could be. So I think that was a team that did well in the draft. And I would say Atlanta, but I think Atlanta traded away a first round pick next year for an edge rusher that probably would have fell to the second round. And they could have got him there. So that's the only reason I wouldn't say Atlanta there. Now there was some teams that were just they didn't do good at all in the draft, you know what I mean? But I'll wait till you get to that, teams that didn't do well. I'll hold mine for that one.
Mm-hmm. I like the Jones. I like a dude Carter. I think he's gonna do pretty good. When we get to basketball and baseball, I will say my Cleveland Browns, but Jacksonville. I like Jacksonville. I like them getting Travis Hunter. I can't wait to see him on the field. But
I didn't like that.
You didn't like it?
Nah, the only reason I didn't like it is not because Travis Hunter is can't play, because he definitely can.
Yeah.
But for you to trade up from 5 to 2 to get a Travis Hunter, for you to give up the future assets that you did to make that move, you have to be a Travis Hunter player away from being competing. And
right.
they much more away than that.
And they're not. Yeah, they're far apart from that.
Away, they far away from that. So if they were just a Travis Hunter player away, then yeah. But if you got, they lost way more in this offseason than they added. So
I mean, low key. I mean, hey, they should have probably, if they moved up, they should have got. I mean, they could have got Sheduer, man, because I'm not really sold on Trevor Lawrence anymore either, man. I mean, shoot. I mean,
if anything, Jacksonville should have moved back and got more assets.
Yeah, I agree. But just like Ralph said, man, Baltimore every year they seem to do really well in the draft. Their front office is amazing in scouting talent. I do believe that they had a really good draft. I thought my Raiders. We actually got what we needed. You know what I mean, at every position. So, and I like the Ashton Jenny pick up. I think he was the best player available at the time, and I think we needed a running back. So, shout out to my Raiders. But yeah, there's there's some teams that didn't do too well either. I'm not too versed on a lot of the other teams. I kind of had a busy weekend and didn't follow the draft as closely as I should have. I was just looking at the ticker, and I was kind of caught up in the whole Sheduer stuff. But yeah, man, like Ralph said, Baltimore, they they had a really good draft, and I feel like they're always like, I mean, they always getting the steal, man. Like they've gotten steals like the last 3 or 4 drafts, man, and all those players like end up like on the field like immediately and making an impact. So definitely shout out to the Baltimore Ravens.
And it's another team that I want to say. Oh, the New York Jets. They got Malachi Moore. No, what's that safety again from Alabama? What's his name? Malachi
Yeah,
Moore.
that's him.
I was
More.
Yeah, I was happy about that. And the Seattle Seahawks, they got Jalen Milroe. I was happy for that too. Now I can go see him play in Seattle if he plays. But he's not going to start.
I was happy we got Ted McMillan. I was happy about that because we needed another receiver, so I ain't mad at that.
Mm-hmm. And one other thing we get into baseball, Henry Ruggs. I heard that he's getting out next year, and he's been working out, and he hoped to have a comeback. So Josh Jacobs, his friend from Alabama, he keeps in contact with him. He said that Henry Ruggs is working out like crazy, and he wants to come back after he gets out next year. So anybody, anything's possible. So we're gonna jump into baseball now. The Atlanta Braves.
We're almost there, man. Yeah, I thought it was gonna take us 50 games to get to around 500, but it's only been about 30. We took an L today to Colorado 2-1, but we're 14-16. Only thing is the next series we play is the Dodgers, so we may drop down a couple more games. But yeah, I mean they're hitting the ball ever since they inserted Alex Verdugo into as a leadoff hitter. They've been winning a bunch of games. The offense has been great. And like I said, we still waiting on Ronald Acuna. Spencer Strider is still not there yet, and everybody seems to be hitting the ball well. What I do like they did our shortstop Orlando Arcia. They put in our other shortstop Nick Allen. I mean, Orlando, great. I mean, real flashy player, but Nick Allen puts the ball in play and gets on base. And sometimes, like when you play in a star-studded lineup, you just need someone that's gonna be able to make contact and get on base. And I feel like him. And then also, we don't have Ronald now, but we have an outfielder, Eli White. He's been playing really well too. So a lot of their bench guys, they've just been going with the best player available and not going with everyday starters. I think that was Brian Sticker's. I think that was his downfall, is that he plays the same players every single day. And I'm glad he's just making it an open competition, because some of these players, I mean, you play 160, 158 games a season. I mean, you're going to go through slumps, and sometimes you need a breather. So I'm glad this year he's taking an approach where he's looking at his bench and then just playing the best available player. And I think that's playing dividends right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was shocked when I started looking at Atlanta moving up. Brad, you going to say about the Atlanta Braves?
Yeah, man. I think what helped us out too is the schedule was in our favor. You know, when we sweep the Twins, and then you take 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals, and then you take 2 out of 3 from the Diamondbacks, and you take 2 out of 3 from the Rockies, you know, you have to win those series when you got those games, you know, considering how you started off. So you gotta take advantage of a favorable schedule for you now. You know, and like you said, we got 3 coming up against the Dodgers, and then 4 against the Reds, and then the Pirates. So I mean, we got the Dodgers at home, but you should not be losing the series to the Reds. You shouldn't be losing the series to the Pirates. You shouldn't be losing the series to the Nationals. You know what I mean? We play the Nationals. Let's see, 4, 7, 10. We play
You play every team. They haven't played the Nationals yet, so they play the Nationals.
They haven't. But
Yeah, so every division opponent you play them 13 times.
Right.
So you play them 13 times, and so I mean, there's opportunity there. I want to get at those Mets because the Mets seem like they,
Yep.
but I've seen the same old story with the Mets. They start off hot and then they start tailing off, and then somebody catches up. But I think the Phillies, they've kind of leveled off a little bit. So I mean, I think with the Braves, man, I think if just like Ralph said, like you win the series you're supposed to win, and you don't have to sweep every team, but if you take 2 out of 3 from the teams that you should be beating in the series, I mean, it's gonna add up. And like I said, we're at 30 games. We're 14-16 off of a 0-7 start, and I mean we kind of caught ourselves in a buzzsaw in the beginning. I mean that was a brutal road trip to start off the season, but it's looking pretty good, and like I said, we still got 2 dynamic players waiting to get back, and Spencer Strider and Ronald back. So I think we'll be okay. We'll be in the mix. May not win the division, but I'm definitely a wild card for sure.
Yeah. Later on in May, we got a 10-game stretch in which 7 of those games are gonna be against the Nationals.
Hey.
Yeah, you got to capitalize off that.
Yes.
Christ. Well, that's good. Atlanta's doing. That's good. Atlanta is trying to move on up. My Yankees, I don't know, man. They're up and down. But I
mean, they're still in first place, right? They're still in first. Yeah. What are they like 18 or 19 and 12 or something like that?
18 and 12. They still in first.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said. A good person told me in baseball, man, he was like, every season, more than likely, your team's gonna win 50 games and your team's gonna lose 50 games. It's what you do with those other 62 games that are played. There's a lot of games, so I mean, everybody's pretty much slated for 50 wins and 50 losses. But those other wins in between, I mean, you gotta capitalize off of the lesser opponents, and I mean you gotta avoid injury too, man, because baseball, like you would think that it would be less injuries, but some of the movements they make, like it's such, you have to like adjust and you have to shift at a very fast, like you gotta be very flexible in your movements and stuff, because it's you're all going off a reaction. So it's a lot of ways you can get injured, like running the bases, outfield flies, like everything. So you just got to ultimately stay healthy. But like I said, I like what the Braves are doing. They're not going with the guys every day. They're giving the guys breathers now, and I think it's paying off. So we'll see how it pans out. It's still early. But I like where we are right now, considering the start.
Yeah. Baseball is a long freaking season. It's like it just never ends. But now,
hey Shaw, I can't relate to them. You know what I'm saying? We 2 games out first place, so we've been playing good though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean that division. Yeah, your division is tough, man. That's tough, man.
We go up and down.
Yeah, you gotta just bank off of beating Colorado, man. They only have Colorado has 5 wins for the whole season, man. That's crazy.
man.
They do. I'm just looking at it now.
That's crazy, man.
5 wins, 25. They 5-25. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So hard.
Huh?
How they so? Man, why they play so horrible? They suck.
They've been like that for a while, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
White Sox only won 7.
Colorado is like Miami. Like when you go back and look at the players they had and they just traded away, because you go back and look at the Miami Marlins,
they had squad.
They had a lot of good players over the years, and most of them was on the team together.
I mean,
but see, with Miami, they got 2 chips though. They won a chip, rebuild, won another chip, broke it down again, and so I mean, considering that they've only been they've been around since in the 90s, so like a little over 30 years, they got 2 championships. That's pretty good. So So any team that can build it, and then break it down, then build it and break it down, like and still manage to get 2 chips. So it's it's very, very difficult to win World Series because it's just really about getting hot at the right time. I mean, you can get into the playoffs and you just make a run.
They had a lot of talent come out of Miami. It's just that they get rid of it. Like Tampa Bay, you know what I mean? Somehow Tampa Bay be in the playoffs, and then you go and look at the players that helped them get in the playoffs. They ain't there no more. Like Carl Crawford, you know what I mean? They let him go. He went to Boston and then ended up, but it's just like they're a farm system in the major leagues. Like they have talent.
Right.
They just go somewhere else.
That's the A's too. They're a farm.
Yeah, the A's too.
Yeah,
the A's.
Because we done got players from Oakland.
Right.
Yeah, we got Matt Olson. Yeah, we got Matt Olson and Sean Murphy. Yeah.
Everybody. They just.
Then what's the dude? Damn, he went to the Mets after that. I don't know if you remember, but after he went to the Mets, they was on a road trip in Atlanta at an away game, and this dude just left the team in Atlanta. Like he went out, left, and never came back.
Damn, who did that?
What's that dude name? I can't remember his first name, but his last
he was
name
on the Mets.
Cespedes.
Yeah,
Cespedes.
Okay, Cespedes,
Yeah,
dude. He had
traded to the Mets, and then the Mets were on a road trip in Atlanta, and one night while they was in Atlanta, he just left and went out and never came back to the team hotel, and everybody was looking for him, and the Mets end up finishing the series in Atlanta, and they finally got a call when they was headed back to New York from Atlanta that this dude had then already jumped on a jet and been back in New York the past couple of days. Like he just left the team in Atlanta and went back. Like he went out to the club one night because that's the last time they seen him in Atlanta. And then he never showed back up to the hotel to finish the series, and he was already on a jet and went back. He said, "The hell with the Mets." You know, he got his money like 50-some million from the Mets, and he was like, "Man, the hell with that." And it was all downhill from there. They ain't nobody heard from that dude since.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's time for the NBA. Let me take a sip.
Do it.
Let me take a sip of Hennessy right quick.
Oh.
All right.
I was gonna talk about Shannon Sharp, but I'm leaving it alone.
We could touch on it for a little bit. We got about 25 minutes.
Okay, let me touch on the Shannon Sharp stuff. Man,
Hey, you need to get a black and mild with that Hennessy, man, before you start talking about Shannon Sharp.
Hey, Shaw. Hey, check this out. We talked about this last night. Hold on. I'm gonna show you this.
When was this? Like after the allegations, or?
Yeah, I don't know when it was. They were just clowning it.
Well, I don't expect Shannon to be sitting at home and with his hand in his lap pouting. It's good he's out, but when I seen the information, I was into the doctor. I was like, man, he got receipts. Maybe like days later, she got receipts. So it's just gonna be a big mess. He stepped down from ESPN, which he should have. It's just
I don't think he had a choice.
He's gonna get fired anyway.
I think they had to let the dust settle before that, man. You know, ESPN. That's a somewhat of a family show. It's by Disney, so.
But when it came out, at first I was like, man, Shannon gonna beat this, man. And then when she brought out the audio,
Donovan was the one that said it though.
When the girl brought the audio out, he said
audio killed him.
I say
the audio killed him.
Yeah, that looking good for you, Shannon. I don't know, man. It's just crazy, man. He was just about to make some big money. Now that's finally gone.
Talking about choking her and everything.
I'm gonna choke you when I see you.
His thing was that he said that that she liked to be like dominated and stuff, and which could possibly be true. But I mean, regardless, if you say you're gonna choke somebody, like regardless, if you gotta like pull up all these receipts to get the full context, man, you saying you gonna choke somebody over the phone? Number one. Number two, like for me, I just think that he just should have used better judgment. I mean, to be quite honest, like he was thinking with his with his penis, and I mean, you dealing with a 19-year-old OnlyFans person, like it's just not a good look, man. Even and it's like she's barely over legal age too, like she was 19 at the time. She was 19 and he was 54, so it was like 2 years ago. So I mean, you put yourself in a situation dealing with these young OnlyFans models. I mean, all they are is about the bread. Yeah. So I mean, you put yourself in a situation, and people can get receipts, and then they can turn it around on you, and now you're in a dicey situation. I think he'll probably beat the allegations, but the mess he's gonna have to go through to clear all that up.
But didn't he try to pay her off before? That looks bad too. That he tried to shut her up or shut somebody up before.
Hey man,
he tried to pay him off.
Yeah. I mean, he tried to shut her up, man. He choked her. So,
man, I mean,
and it sounded just bad the way he was saying it.
Yeah, but I mean, don't Shannon show got his own like podcast and like production stuff though.
He do, but I mean, I just don't understand what would you see in somebody younger than your daughter. I mean, his daughter is older than her.
Right.
Yeah, it's like he's in LA. Yeah, it's like he's in LA. Like there's plenty of chicks, man. Like I don't understand. Like I understand you want the little young thing, you want to mess around it, but it's just like at the end of the day, when you get to a certain status, is it really worth it? You know what I mean? And on top of that, like once you deal with them, like it's gonna be an ongoing thing because they're just gonna. I mean, they probably gonna put it on you real good, and then you gonna want to come back for more, and then
that's what it is.
And then they just become attached. Now you have to like please this woman to keep her quiet because you don't really know what's gonna happen. And then the minute you cut her off, then she's got all these receipts. So I mean, it's a big gamble, and I just think you gotta be smarter. The more money you make, the more people are gonna be after it, and sometimes I think a lot of these athletes, and once they make a certain amount of millions, they let it get to their head, and then they use poor judgment, thinking that they're invincible, and the shit always comes back to bite them.
I think just basically the younger girls, they in it for the money. They not in it for Shannon's looks. You know what I mean? Like he's in it for the sex. They're in it for the money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's all about the money from them. Because
exactly, even with Bill Belichick,
if he really did what they, why don't these? And I'm not saying this stuff don't happen, but if it's happening like they saying it's happening, why are they only after the money? Why are they not trying to pursue criminal charges? Why is it only civil suits?
Exactly.
Why are they just trying to get money?
Everything about the money.
Like if you get raped, and I'm not talking about because it really is people out here who do get raped. But if you get raped, why the first and only thing you think about is the money? Why would you want this person behind bars? Charged?
Yeah, that's all they want. It's money, man.
Like if I'm that girl's parents and dad, like if somebody really assaulted you, like nah, I don't care if Shannon Sharp or what. Don't get dealt with.
I mean, and I look at Bill Belichick too. I was asked about it. I said, man, but you don't hear Bill Belichick talking about I'm gonna choke you when I see you.
Even Al Pacino messing with it.
He probably ain't got enough strength to choke nobody.
Right. It's only a certain amount of sex that could do when you that.
Yeah,
he probably fractured his collarbone trying to reach his hand up there that quick to choke somebody.
Like even Hugh Hefner, you know what I'm saying, had to bow out.
He's spinning right now.
And he'll pull a muscle in his back trying to get his hand up there.
Right, him and I think ain't it Al Pacino?
Like that, man.
I think it's Al
He
Pacino
barely
that's dating another one.
yeah.
Yeah, Jordan
Barely
got
hold
what
the
he
clipboard.
wanted to do.
Yeah, Jordan got a young one.
That's the thing. You know, they going younger. They going to the younger
They
chicks.
got to be smarter though. They might go younger, but they getting dumber.
Yeah,
Right.
it is true. That is true. That is true. So I tell you what, we're gonna jump into the NBA. I know my boy now. He ready for that. I'm ready for it. First of
I got
all,
my lucky green Lakers cap on, man.
Lakers in 5.
so we're gonna go ahead and talk about the Lakers. The Lakers gonna lose tonight.
I think I got to win it.
I think
That's
we'll
it.
win. I think we'll win. I don't know about Game 6 though. I think that's just too insurmountable of a task, man. JJ,
Yeah, 3
him not
straight.
subbing out any of the starters like
That's
in the
That's
second half,
crazy.
it is wild, bro. I
That's
mean, you got to
crazy.
think about it. Luka already doesn't have like the best stamina to begin with, anyways.
And
And then you got LeBron, and think about it, he's exerting so much energy now defensively now too. I mean, yeah, he's not taking the ball off the court, but he's basically like trying to play Anthony Davis in his role, like trying to rim protect. And then you have Reeves. Reeves, he was in foul trouble the first half of that game. So I mean, he's a little bit younger. I think he could sustain it, but I mean, you got to find those guys minutes. I understand that you only trust a certain amount of guys, but it just, I mean, honestly, like Minnesota, I think the Lakers have better, like maybe a few better players. I mean, I think Anthony Edwards is the best player, but the Lakers have the second and third best player. But I just think Minnesota has more depth. And I mean, it's just evident that they're out of gas every fourth quarter. It reminds me of the Denver series that we had like the last 2 years where we would be winning these games. And in the fourth quarter, like as a Laker fans, we're just like in our head, like, damn, go clock, go clock. We want the time to evaporate, but because you just know that they're just not going to be able to sustain it. Because if you look at it, even in game 2, we kind of almost gave it up, and it got cut down to like 8 with like 6 minutes left, and then LeBron got a steal off Anthony Edwards, and then we were able to hold them off. But when I saw this series, and I told Josh, like, I didn't feel confident about it. I watched a lot of basketball this season. Minnesota, they just turn on. They know how to turn on this switch defensively, and on top of that, Randall, I didn't think he was going to play this well because when he was in New York, he played like trash every playoffs. So he's finally playing well. Anthony Edwards is just, I mean, he's that guy, and now he's becoming a better playmaker as well. So it's an insurmountable task. I see us probably winning today, game 6. I don't know, man, but if it goes to a game 7, and we on next week, man, hey, man, and we win that, you ain't gonna hear the end of it from me. But
And man, like I said, them boys packing. And LeBron, look, he gonna beat them boys, and LeBron gonna retire.
I don't. Yeah, well, we'll talk about that briefly after everybody, I guess, gets their take. But but I do want to touch on one more series. I like the way Detroit's playing New York. That's been like one of my favorite series. I watched that game. What was that game? I think that was game 4 on Sunday. I thought I was in a flashback in the 90s, man. Like that game 4 in Detroit on Sunday between those two teams, man. That was a game right there. It was super physical. You had all the old bad boys. You had everybody there in the crowd. Like they were letting a lot of fouls go. That game's been really tightly contested, and I'll shout out to Detroit and Bickerstaff too. I mean, think about it. I mean, Cleveland played well last year, but to go to that Detroit team and then get them into what their number 6 seed after how bad of a season they had last year, you gotta give props to Bickerstaff, the coach, man. He really has turned that team around, and I think they'll be in the mix for a little bit. I mean, that Kate Cunningham is a beast, man.
He's something special. He's going to game 7. I already got it locked in. They're going to game 7 in New York. Yeah, he's going to go next on this. I got my hitters. It's working on.
Yeah, the Lakers, man, and the crazy part is like when you said that JJ didn't play nobody, play his bench, in Game 5. He could play his bench tonight and they lose. You know what I'm saying? So like he might kind of overcoach himself. You know what I'm saying? Like by being not playing his bench last game, and then he could go to his bench too early, too much this game, and it could cost him because he gonna think like, well, damn, if I didn't play my bench last and I'm getting heat for it. Let me go to my bench early, and then he might go too early, and he might play him too much, and it might cost him the game. I mean, that's just how it could be, because usually that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
overcompensate this game because you didn't compensate enough last game. So,
Yeah.
I think right now what we seeing is like Ant-Man being a whole different animal. Like Game 1, he took his game to another level. Like we haven't seen Ant-Man be a facilitating type of point guard and playmaker like that. We see Ant-Man being the highlight reel and getting buckets. But Game 1, when he set the tone and tempo for this series, he took the ball and did what we didn't think that he could do. We didn't think that he could pass out of the double team. We didn't think that he could find a drive. Well, we knew he could drive and break his man down and get into the teeth of the defense, but we didn't know he can facilitate the ball like that. Because all the passes they were catching on the perimeter from him was hitting them right in the chest. These guys didn't have to jump up and save the ball from going out of bounds. They didn't have to catch it down by their shoelaces. They was catching it right there, damn near in shoot motion, and they was knocking down shots. So we haven't seen that from Ant-Man. That was something else he added to his game. I don't know who he was talking to or who he was getting advice from, but whoever it was told him the right thing to do.
It's
Because
his daddy,
because
Michael Jordan.
yeah, because he got it. He, like you said, he can break the defense down and get into the teeth of the defense and finish with the best of them over the best of them. So we done seen that. But when he was making them pinpoint accurate passes and those guys was just catching and shooting, and nobody was around them for 6, 7, 8 feet, they was just knocking
Mhm.
shots down. That set the tempo for that series. So now they don't know what to do with Ant. They don't know if he gonna be a point guard. They don't know if he gonna be the one-on-one playmaker. They don't know if he's gonna be a decoy. They don't know what to do with Ant. And then he talking, giving it back to him on the defensive end. Like he pushing Braun around like Braun is his size. You know what I'm saying? So they don't know what to do with Ant. They in disarray right now. They don't know what to do with Ant. But I got the Lakers winning the series. If they win tonight, they gonna go back to Minnesota, and it's just gonna be they gonna get all kinds of hell beat out of them back in Minnesota. If they win tonight.
They
So
gonna look at this.
yeah, so that's that for that. And I'm looking at the play-in, like they might just need to go ahead and do away with that. Because
Yeah, leave it
Miami
alone.
got in through the play-in and they just got the hell beat out of them,
Leave it
swept.
alone.
And then you looking at Memphis, who got the same hell beat out of them by OKC, and they got swept. And Memphis, the thing about Memphis is they could have avoided OKC had they just kept Taylor Jenkins those last
Right.
8 or 9 games, won a few more games with that coach, they would have
Right.
missed the play-in and they would have missed OKC in round 1. But instead, they fired the coach and thought the assistant coach was about to get them on some type of run. They got into the play-in and drew OKC in the first round and just got all kinds of hell beat out of them. And now, Ja hurt again. And that's the same reason that Taylor Jenkins had to switch his system up, because Ja got hurt and missed
Yeah.
significant time with injuries and suspension. So he had to
Right.
switch the system up. And then the crazy thing is, the guy that you fired Taylor Jenkins for ended up getting hurt again in the series. But you don't have Taylor Jenkins as the coach now. You got an assistant. And you just got the living hell beat out you by OKC. So now the play-in is like, what the hell are we doing? Because whoever gets in there, they ain't gonna do shit against the number 1 seed anyway. I think didn't Miami go to the finals one year off the play-in, but that was just like
Yeah.
that was just a once, and I don't know if we'll ever see that again. You know what I
And that was
mean?
the Eastern Conference too. It's a whole other ball game over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
get rid of the
So
whole playing. The playing is stupid. I never cared for it. I like it how it was. 1 through 8, get in. Everyone else has go home.
it's
Yeah.
more. It's just a couple games more. The NBA making money off of 2 games more, 2 or 3 games more.
Hey man, I mean, with those salaries, man, they probably need as many games as possible, man. Those players be getting banked, bruh.
Man,
But
that's crazy, man.
but yeah, Josh, so what you think of the Warriors? I mean, what's the score of the game right now?
They losing by like,
It's a beat
I
down.
think it's like
They
30.
down
It's a
by
beat
30.
down.
Yeah, they
They
like
down
30.
by 30.
70.
Are they really down by 30?
Yeah, it's ugly. I told you we was gonna get blown out.
Yeah.
I told you they was gonna get blown out. I told
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah.
I told Bonnet J that we was gonna
29 to
get
be
blown out.
exact, but 30.
Yeah, it's ugly right now. I think we was gonna lose this game, and I think we lose win in game 6. So I mean, I'm not
Get back
worried.
there.
Yeah,
Get back to San Francisco.
yeah, I think we're gonna go back and take care of business.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad though, because some of these series were kind of horrible anyway. So to have a couple that are going to go 6 or 7 is good. I'm hoping the Clippers can bounce back and beat Denver, so that can get that series can go longer. I mean, I like watching the NBA basketball, but you know, some of these series are like you said, the playing teams like they just make it so bad when they go against the number 1 seed. I mean, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I think the playoffs have been good though. I do the refs have been bad in some of these games, but I do like the fact that they're letting them play and let them be a little bit more physical. So I do like that.
Detroit and New York, they let them play.
Yeah, and all those games have been pretty close except for game 1. I think all those games have been decided by like, I think the 4 other games in that series have been like decided by like a total of like 11 points. So between those two teams, so I think I'm hoping Detroit can win game 6. That won't go to game 7, but yeah, I like the playoffs so far, and I'm hoping that the physicality it kind of transfers over again into next season, because I feel like you would probably get more viewership if you saw more physical play.
Yeah, we need it. The NBA needs it. Yeah, it's bad that the NFL draft got more viewers than the NBA playoffs, I think.
Yeah, but that's always going to
It's 'cause
be
of Sheduer.
NFL. Yeah, NFL. I mean, is king. But I've never. It's so funny, like when you look at the draft and everything, like everybody's just having all these projections and everything, and it's like you just
Dude,
really don't know, man.
How does Mel
Football
Kiper
is
have a
kind of the
job?
biggest. Football is like the biggest crapshoot when it comes to the draft. I mean, for the most part, like because there's always a huge injury risk, you know. So, but NFL, I think it's always going to be king, and I think the reason for that is kind of what we mentioned earlier. Is I think that they just have sometimes I feel like it could be a little bit too much, but I do feel like it's just more structured and they have a little bit more stranglehold over the players, unfortunately. But I think I think the NFL is all about the shield, man, and the NBA is all about players, and you kind of want a balance of both of those two. But I think the NFL, you just can't really beat it, man. For anything NFL related is pretty much going to have higher ratings than pretty much everything else.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's why I think Giannis is gonna be the next blockbuster trade, because after Luka got traded, the NBA ratings went up.
Yeah.
And there's really no reason for Giannis to stay in Milwaukee. Their future is cooked.
Yeah, Dame is done. Dame is over.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, you could tell your boy Adam to get off to stop repping Dame, man. He's done, bro.
It's over. His career is over.
Dame is done. He probably won't even play next year, because I don't even think Milwaukee.
Yeah, because it happened.
For him to even come back to play.
Yeah, it happened in the playoffs. It's gonna take a while for that.
Yeah, they don't have. I don't think they have their own first round pick to like 2030 or 2031.
Dang.
I mean,
some of the locals are saying here in Portland that Lillard ass should have just stayed here. It's here in Portland. I said, well.
No, I think he took the opportunity to play with Giannis. I think it's like the best one. I think he put in his time in Portland, and I think he took a chance, and it just didn't work out. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work out, man. And like I said, there's only one championship is won a year, and sometimes even the best players they just don't get an opportunity to to get the chip, man. So
It's over, man.
I don't fault him for him going there. I mean, you're playing with a top 5 guy in the league. It just didn't work out, and at this point too, you got to look at Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is the biggest fraud out there, man. He is the biggest fraud ever, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but to what you said, Dame initially didn't want to go to Milwaukee.
He want to go to Miami.
Yeah, he was trying his damnedest to get to Miami. But
Well, it would have been the same. It would have been the same result, man.
It would.
I mean,
it would have. It would have.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Miami, and even though I do think Spoelstra is a better coach than Doc Rivers, I mean, maybe they get another seed, but it's like, I don't know. So what if they would have made that trade, Tyler Hero would have probably been in Portland, pretty sure, huh?
They didn't want him. They didn't want him.
But he balled out this year. Tyler Hero had a really good season this year.
But Portland, they didn't like the package that Miami was giving them.
Right.
So they got out of it.
Yeah.
So it was another team I think wanted Damian Lillard. I can't think who it is because they're damn Henderson. But yes, somebody did want him. So I think it was out on the West Coast. Somebody wanted him.
You said Toronto. Toronto
was one of the teams that like right before he got traded to Milwaukee, Toronto started to come up, and Milwaukee never was a team that came up because remember Giannis had went to the front office and he said he wasn't going to sign an extension until he see the team the team make, and then all of a sudden Milwaukee got him. Milwaukee wasn't even in the discussion; they just out of nowhere just went and got him. Yeah. So
Giannis could come over here, man.
It's like Milwaukee is done. The only way they can kind of get something going for the future, they gotta trade Giannis. Whether he wants to be traded or not, they have to trade Giannis because Damian Lillard is done. He's not going to play next year off a torn Achilles because I don't think Milwaukee's going to be good enough where they need him to come back to play. They're going to be bad, in my opinion. They traded for Kyle Kuzma. Nobody wants Kyle Kuzma. You can't even flip Kyle Kuzma. That's the same dude who just played, 30 minutes in the first round against the Pacers, and he had 0 in every statistical category.
Yeah.
He's done.
Sad.
I was a big Kyle Kuzma fan when he was on the Lakers too, but his career just
some Lakers fans were saying he was better than Tatum. I was like,
well, yeah. In the beginning, like they were comparing him to Tatum, and I mean he was putting up solid numbers, but I'm like it never developed. But he did. I mean, he played. I mean, at the end of the day, he still got a chip. You know, he got a bubble chip. So I mean, he good. You know, but yeah, man, I think
you stuck with Doc.
I mean, you stuck with Doc. I think they need to either trade with Brooklyn or OKC and just basically just because they're the only teams with like a bunch of draft picks and assets. Because OKC, they got a lot of good young players on the team. You could put him on OKC with Shea, and I mean, and you get rid of you get rid of Chet, you get rid of J-Dub, and they got a bunch of picks. Or I don't know. I don't think he want to go to Utah, but Utah they got a lot of assets too. But
they ain't gonna do him like that.
There's no black people in this.
And out of all the teams you named, I think OKC, like you said, they got picks.
They got picks and players. Even on their roster right now, they go like 10 deep. I mean, you could put a lot of good young players. They got Cason Wallace, Aaron Wiggins. They got some players that some good young players that can develop. So
they could give the Bucks a lot of players, and it won't hurt them because OKC has a great scouting department. They go and get guys and replace the ones that they lost. Like Sam Preston's a damn good GM. Like he can get rid of a lot of talent and then he can replace it through the draft because they have tons of picks. So even if they get rid of young players, it ain't gonna hurt them because they so good at scouting and drafting that they really don't.
And the crazy part about it is they're gonna have to do that anyways because they have got a lot of good young talent and they can't pay them all. So they're gonna have to get rid of them eventually. So you might as well get rid of them and get somebody in there that you could definitely be on the map to win a chip. But anyways, guys, I got to run. But I got to run. But it was nice chopping it up with you. Shaw, man, don't drink and drive, man. And I'll holler at y'all, man.
We see you next. We gonna see you Monday, man.
Yeah,
I know Monday. All right.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back. What, Monday?
Yes, sir.
All right. Great show, fellas. We'll be back Monday. I'm about to go eat and chill for the night and watch the Lakers lose.
All right, bro.
All right, fellas.
All right, guys.
All right.